Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. We'll start in a couple of minutes.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Sir, there is a suspicious type of sir. There is a suspicious type of account named Dr. Anand Second Screen.
Yes. This is my screen. I use a second screen because when I am teaching, sharing the screen, I cannot see who is answering and all. So I use a second screen so that I can see all the students on that screen. Okay. So it's my account only. So this one I'm using. Okay. So, in our earlier class, we have discussed about the animal tissue. Now, we have to start about the animal tissue. We have completed this plant tissues. Okay. So, just like in the plant tissue, there are the different types like the meristematic tissue and permanent tissue, and they have their own set of important characteristic features are there. Similar to that, the animal tissues are also different types. There is much more variety in the animal tissues compared to the plant tissues. In our syllabus, we have the four types of animal tissue. One is the epithelial epithelial tissue. The other is the connective tissue, muscular tissue, and nervous tissue. These are the four types of animal tissues that we are having in our syllabus. So, what are these? Epithelial, connective, muscular, and nervous. The nervous tissue and muscular tissue, both of this is very easy to understand because the term itself is clear. Nervous something to do with nerves, neurons, and muscular tissue means something to do with muscles. connective tissue, the term suggests that it is something to do with connecting things, connecting the organs and other different types of tissues. This is going to act as a connecting link. These are the connective tissue. What is the meaning of epithelial tissue?
Covering tissue.
Epithelial. Yeah, epi means something that is covering, that is on the top. Okay, so epithelial is like a thin covering or something that is for protective purpose on the outermost layer. Epi means outer. So this epithelial tissue itself is made up of there are the 4 categories of epithelial tissue. The terms are squamous tissue, cuboidal, columnar, and stratified. So what are the different types of epithelial tissue? Squamous, cuboidal, columnar, and stratified. So just we will try to understand these terms so that we can remember that properly. Under the epithelial tissue, we have the squamous. Okay, squamous, squash, something like squashing. When you say squashed or something means what? Have you heard of the term? Squashed.
Yes, sir.
Okay, what it
Yes,
means?
sir.
What it means?
So like washing.
To squeeze something.
Something like squashed, squash. So something like, I think some of the fruit squash or something is also available. Okay, some squash, it is written as squash. So something that you are compressing, you are squeezing and all that kind of. So it becomes something that is in original shape. It will become more like a flat thing, very thin or something. So that from this you can understand that squamous is something like squashed, and anything if you squash it, it will become like a thin. So the cells of this squamous tissue are thin. Okay. The other one is the cuboidal. Okay. So here you can easily make out what is the term here, cube. The cube is a 3-dimensional structure. Okay, the cube is a 3-dimensional structure. It has it is not just so thin, because the depth is not there, so it seems almost like a very thin cell, is no depth, like 2D only. But this cuboidal, because it also has a depth, it is a 3-dimensional, more complete 3-dimensional. So a cuboidal kind of epithelial cell will be more of a solid. Okay, it will be occupying more space. Okay, let's not draw this inner part, but it will be looking more like this, and inside it will be having a very prominent nuclei like. Okay, so squamous is very thin, cuboidal is a 3-dimensional, columnar.
Sir, is cuboidal a cube or a cuboid?
So when we say cuboidal, it is nothing but something to do with the shape of a cube, right?
Sir, but cuboid can also be made.
Not exactly cube. It can be more of a like we have a rectangle with the different dimension. Yeah, like a different dimension. That's this thing. So it need not be exactly like a cube. Okay, that is correct.
Okay.
Columnar, the cells are more taller. They are also 3-dimensional. Okay, they will have the thickness. Okay, but they are tall. So this one is not so tall, cuboidal. Columnar is having the thickness. It will have the nucleus. And the last one is the stratified. So when we say stratified, strata, have you heard the term strata anywhere? geography, stratosphere,
Yes, sir.
right? So
Yes,
we
sir.
we have atmosphere, stratosphere, exosphere. I also don't remember. Different layers are there. Similarly, in the earth also different strata that are present in the earth crust, mantle, core, like that, different layers are. So whenever we say strata, that means they are going to be different layers, different layers of cells. So like the skin, okay, in the skin, like we will be seeing in advertisements also on television, like they are selling some kind of a cream or some cosmetic product, they will say that our product will go deep inside the different layers of the skin. So the skin is made up of different layers, but most of the people are thinking that skin is only one layer, that is the outside, what is visible. Okay, but the skin itself is made up of the different layers. Okay, so we will be seeing about this animal tissue and what are the features of this animal tissue. So first one is the squamous. The squamous tissue is closely packed, thin and flat with prominent nuclei. As you can see here in the figure, the cells are thin, they are not very thick, thin, they have a prominent nuclei, and the space between the cells is also very less, so they are very closely packed. It is found in the lining of the mouth and nasal cavities, blood vessels and lymph vessels. So in the lining of the mouth, so just inside the mouth, this cheek region is there, that lining is there, outer layer, as well as the nasal cavity, the inner part of the nose. Okay, whatever the lining is there, the blood vessels, both outside of the blood vessel and inner side of the blood vessel. Okay, lymph vessels, all of these, okay, they are having this squamous kind of epithelial cells. It protects the underlying parts from mechanical injury, germs, harmful chemicals, and from drying up. Okay, so that is about this squamous epithelial tissue. Okay, the other type of epithelial tissue is the cuboidal. It is found in the glandular ducts. Glandular, when we say glandular, means something to do with the glands. Okay, glands like salivary glands. Okay, but where it is found? It is found in the glandular ducts. Duct means what?
Tube.
Tube or pipe. Yes, that is good. So found in the glandular ducts like salivary glands, pancreatic duct, part of the kidney tubules. So the kidney itself, when you take a cross section, cut it, and you look inside, is made up of so many fine tubes. So that's what we say tubules, because very fine tubes will be there. So when we look under the microscope, then we will be able to see that compared to this squamous cells, which are so thin, these cuboidal cells have the thickness. They have the thickness. Okay, it is a cuboidal shape. Next is the columnar epithelial cell. The term itself is clear. It is appearing to be the cells are in the form of a column or cylinder. They contain vertically arranged cylindrical or brick-like cells. The cells are tall in size. They are found in the inner lining of the stomach and intestines. Now this type of cells, the tissues which are having this kind of a column kind of cells, tall cells, these are categorized into two types. One is the ciliated and other is the glandular. Ciliated, cilia, C-I-L-I-A, cilia. Now the cilia is a kind of a fine projection. So some cells, they will have a thin hair like projection will be there. Okay. This can move in a certain motion. So when we, like, the digestive system is there, the digestive system is having the entry and exit, both are separate. But when we are breathing, the entry and exit both are through the same nose itself. Okay. So if any particles, dust particles or any other things are going inside through our the air we are breathing, how will it come outside?
Sir, through the nose hair.
But everything is not getting trapped by the first defense, that is the nose hair.
Sir, while exhaling the air out.
Yes, but that is not being sufficient, no? So what is happening is our body is making a mucus. That is what we say cough is coming out as a cough. So there is a secretions inside that is called mucus. But that mucus that is being produced in this windpipe, in the bronchia, bronchioles, in the lungs, all of these, the main purpose is that mucus is, it will trap all the dust particles, whatever harmful material is there, it will get trapped in that slimy material. But after it has got trapped in that, it has to be removed out. If it cannot be removed out, what is going to happen? All of that is going to accumulate in the lungs. And that is what we say, that the lungs are filled up with fluid. That makes the person very difficult to breathe. That is what we say, there is a difficulty in breathing. We need to give the person oxygen because the lung capacity has become less. Very less amount of part of the lungs is actually taking the oxygen. Therefore, we need to provide enriched oxygen, like an oxygen pipe or something. Okay. So what is important? There should be some kind of mechanism to throw out that mucus. So for that, the cells, the lining of the cells in the windpipe or the trachea okay, from the nose this is coming. So this trachea, and from there will be the bronchi, and then there will be the lungs. Okay, not an excellent diagram, but you are getting the point. So here the inner lining of this windpipe as well as still some part of the lung, this type of cells are there which are having the cilia. So this cilia are these kind of projections that are coming out from the cell that can move in a whip like fashion. Okay, it can move like this. So then what it will do is, it will, all of these will, hair like things, they will move exactly in the same way in one direction. So then what it will do is, it will push the mucus outside, and after it is reaching something up to here, and then the person will get the feeling of, I want to cough outside. So they will cough and it will come out. So that is the thing. So here there are the two types of the columnar epithelial cells. Okay, columnar epithelial cells are two types. One is the ciliated and other is glandular. So where is the ciliated found? It is found in the lining of the trachea, that is the windpipe. They are thread-like protoplasmic projections of the cells. Cilia constantly keep lashing and move the materials which enter these regions. Okay. So this is one type of the columnar epithelial cells, that is the ciliated ones which are found in the trachea. The other type is the glandular. The term is very clear, gland, something to do with the gland. So these are large cells which secrete certain chemicals. They are found in the lining of the stomach and intestines. Hollow or tubular glands such as sweat glands, tear glands, and in the liver. So what is the importance now? Stomach is there. Does the stomach help in a digestion?
No, sir, it helps to mix the food with the hydrochloric acid.
Okay, so it is something like you eat and it is coming in the stomach, and in the stomach there is going to be a lot of acid. From where is this acid coming?
So from liver, pancreas.
No, 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 no.
So from the lining of the stomach.
From the lining of the stomach itself, because no other organ in the human body has the capacity to work in the presence of concentrated hydrochloric acid. If you put your finger in concentrated hydrochloric acid, the finger will dissolve.
Sir, stomach also has got mucus which protects the stomach against hydrochloric acid.
Yes, stomach is different because it is having the protective layer. That hydrochloric acid is also secreted by the tissues lining the stomach. Okay, so the stomach, what is doing in the digestion is it is secreting the hydrochloric acid, and it is also secreting the gastric juices, that is the enzymes and all things that are required for the digestion, which are having this gastric juice. Now who is secreting this? This is the glandular cells. So these are the large cells which secrete chemicals. So in the stomach, lining of the stomach, there are the glandular cells which will be secreting these enzymes and the hydrochloric acid. Similarly, in the intestines also digestion is taking place. The different enzymes will be secreted. So there also these glandular cells are there. The other glands such as the hollow or tubular glands of the sweat glands, tear glands, and in the liver, these are all also having the glandular cells. Now here you can say that salivary gland is also gland only. Why not giving example there? Glandular. So
they have ducts.
They have ducts. These tears that are coming in the eyes, okay, whether they are coming directly or they are also coming through duct.
Sir, coming through ducts.
Coming through duct, because you can observe in the corner of the eye. Okay, in the early in the morning, sometimes you have some accumulation of that some material, then you have to rub your eye to remove it. So there you will see that there is a very fine small hole is there. Okay, sometimes it is more easily visible, sometimes not so easily visible, but there is a small hole. Through that the tears will come out. So there are the tear glands. The tear glands will produce the tear, and the tear will pass through the duct or the pipe, and it will come out through that hole. Okay, so the duct is going to have which type of cells? Tissue? No.
Sir, pardon?
The duct of the tear glands will have which type?
Lacrimal cells.
Columnar epithelium.
You see, here we have seen already ducts, glandular ducts. Okay, cuboidal. You see, these are pipe-like structures. So gland itself will have the columnar, which is the glandular type, but the duct that is coming from, okay, the glands, for example the salivary glands or the sweat glands or the tear glands, they themselves will have the glandular cells, glandular tissue, but the duct that is coming from it, the duct will be made up of the cuboidal tissue. Okay, cuboidal epithelial. Okay, next is stratified. In the stratified, it is found in the skin and the cornea. So all of you all know cornea is present in the eye. So cornea is extremely one of the most important part of the eye. If the cornea is not functioning, no doctor can help in the restoration of the eyesight. There is only one way is the transplantation from some donor unit to get the cornea. Every other organ of the eye, there is some replacement, some corrective surgeries, different things are there. Cornea is the ultimate sensor. It is found in this kind of stratified kind of tissue is found in the skin. The skin is having different layers, cornea is having different layers. So if we look at this one, a typical kind of example, in the top layer, what kind of cells you are seeing? The cells are a bit thin, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
sir.
They are like the squamous one.
Squamous. Outside the outmost appears to be squamous, but as you are going deep inside, the shape and pattern of the cells is changing. Then you go further deep, it appears to be the cuboidal. Okay, so it is one tissue only, epithelial tissue like a skin, but it is appears to be in a different layers. Therefore, it is a stratified squamous epithelial. Okay, for example, here it is given about esophagus. Esophagus is what?
Food type.
Food pipe.
Food pipe. Okay, so here we are seeing just an summary. Okay, that there is a simple squamous cells, thin and flat, cuboidal. Okay, having the third dimension, depth is there, larger cells, columnar. Okay, and ciliated, and this one is the squamous. Different types are there in the body, animal tissue. Okay, so that was about the epithelial tissue. Anything you want to ask about epithelial tissue? Any doubt or anything?
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
So you told that stratified, it is made up of different layers. So it has got different types of cells also embedded in different layers.
The different type of cells may come. For example, in the skin, there are nerve cells, there are the blood vessels. Okay, and many more different types of cells will also come in the skin. Okay, but that we are not inclusive of all those things. We are not telling. When we include all those things, then it is different. Here we are talking only about tissue, no? So when we are talking about tissue, there are the simple tissue and complex tissue. Okay, in plants, the complex tissue example is
This xylem and phloem.
xylem and phloem, because the xylem itself having 4 types of tissue, phloem having 4 type of tissue. So like that only in this epithelial also, though they are the different strata are there, but all of these cells are coming from the same origin. Okay, so maybe sometime in your future classes or sometime you will learn that developmental biology, there is a development, how the body develops from a single cell. Okay, from a single cell zygote it is developing into multicellular. So there are the different layers, how the cells will divide and make outside ectoderm, inside endoderm, mesoderm, like that there will be different one. So it all depends upon origin, based upon origin. Okay, so I think we will not start connective tissue now. We have only 1 minute remaining. I will take the attendance and so I think I have sent about the project one, this one.
Yes, sir.
The assignment and the project.
Yes, sir.
So
Yes, sir.
I think hope the instruction and everything is clear. Any doubts you have, you may ask.
Sir, we will not use any printed pictures or anything.
Draw yourself, no? Draw something. Doesn't matter
Okay,
if you are not a great artist, doesn't matter. But because this is not an art class, this is for biology purpose. So important thing is that you should be able to draw understandable diagram, and that should be labeled. That is more important.
Okay, sir.
About the cover, 1 or 2 people were asking, cover of that one will be brown cover. Even what you are using for regular notebook, you can cover it in that way.
Okay, sir.
Okay, any other doubt
Okay,
anyone
sir.
has? It's all clear, that one? Okay. Okay then, thank you everyone.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you
Thank you, sir.
Thank you all.